Hello, Huskies back again with more Columbus Blue Jackets GM mode, franchise mode commentary. That's who kicked it off. We selected our team, put our protection list through for the second team, the 32nd team, sorry, the Milwaukee Wolves. And we did the draft, in which it was kind of hit and miss. I mean, we had two pretty decent. We had Timothy, I want to say he's Swedish defenseman. We got a medium elite in the second round, which was good. Just looking at last season and what to expect, Columbus went into the playoffs. They won 50 games. They had 108 points. They had a good offense. They had a great defense. Defense and goaltending is what keeps this team going, and that's kind of what I want to build on. This team does not have the greatest offensive talent. We mentioned that last video. Panarin, Wenberg, Foligno, not the biggest of names. I would love Wenberg to get much better, but I don't think he will. Same with Werenski. I would love for him to get better. But the one thing that we do have that we have not had in previous GM modes is we can redo the 2017 offseason because we did the expansion draft. Now I have to do re-signing for a couple of players. I'm actually going to bring up cap friendly, and I can see who re-signed for what. That way I can try to get it just kind of an understanding of what players want. So who do I have to sign? I have to sign Wenberg, Gagne, Quincy. I don't think they re-signed Quincy. Wow, they did not. Josh Anderson they re-signed. Lori Korpikoski, I think they let walk. Ryan Stanton, I think they let walk unless he's in the AHL. Nope. Jordan Schrader. These guys I can all pretty much sign. But the two big ones are Wenberg and Gagne. I think Gagne is still here. Did Gagne bolt? No, they let Gagne go. So we're going to let Gagne go as well. Just because it opens up a spot for somebody. But Wenberg got a $4.9 million contract. He wants 4.8. I'm willing to overpay a little bit. I'm willing to go 5.1 for 4 years because that'll get me his exact overall. And we're not overpaying, I don't feel. I think $5 million is a good spot for him. He's only 22. I know he's not the highest overall, but it's okay. Goaltending, I think. I'll sign him. Two-way. Alright, so I'm going to let Gagne walk. I'm going to let Quincy walk. Josh Anderson got a 1.85. He wants 1.15. I'll give him a little more for a 3-year deal. Lori Korpikoski, I'll let walk. And then these guys, they're AHLers, so I'll just go ahead and sign them. If they want two-way deals, that's no problem at all. And this puts us about as close as we're going to be to the NHL equivalent, real-life equivalent of the Columbus Blue Jackets going into free agency. I really didn't want Sam Gagne. I really didn't want Kyle Quincy. Kyle Quincy isn't going to play. Sam Gagne might have played, but this way I open it up for some people to come in. Bjorkstrand being one of them. Alright, so let's see what's available. I don't remember what free agency was. I know they signed UC. Excuse me. I know they signed UC Jokinen. Alright, so sure, accepted. Alright, so everybody accepted, so we can go ahead and submit free agency. I want my first goal on this team is to bring in first line talent to play with Panarin. Panarin is a high quality player. He's a guy that I kind of have to build my offense around, but I don't remember what free agency is we have on us. So Nino Niederreiter, he's an RFA. Kevin Shattenkirk, I really don't need defense. Tomas Tatar, Justin Williams. Now this is also going to be different because you could... Ooh, Andrei Burakovsky. That's an interesting guy, but he wants 4.2 and he's an RFA. I don't think he's worth that. Ryan Spooner, another RFA. So they did re-sign UC Jokinen, wherever he was. I don't remember where he was. So now the question becomes, is Nino Niederreiter worth draft picks. Now, I don't want to get to the point... Oops, almost dropped my controller. I don't want to get to the point where I have to rebuild so my first round picks are entirely useful. Like, I don't want top 5 picks, but I also want to hold them in case I want to make a trade. But I do have... What would he cost me? Would he cost me a first and a third? He'd cost me this year's first and a third. And they're the only team interested in him. I don't want to sign Shattenkirk because I don't need defense. Tomas Tatar's an interesting one, but he's really... I'm not a fan of him. The two guys I'm going back between are Andrei Burakovsky, and Nino Niederreiter. Now Burakovsky he's an interesting player because he's 22, but he's an 81. I don't know just how much he would benefit from signing here. What would he cost me if I do 4.2? He cost me a second? No, he cost me a first and a... So it's basically one or the other. Shit, I need a third line center as well. So let's see what's out there center wise. Nick Bonino, Sam Gagner, Mike Richards, Matt Cullen, Nick Shore, David Desharnais, Hyatt, Chimchura, Lombardi. So there's not the best center depth. Nick Bonino wouldn't be awful, but for 3.8, dude, that's too much. Boy. Now let's go see. I have 7 million in cap space. I want to see what if Minnesota can even sign Niederreiter, like if they can even match it. Because, like I said, they're the only team interested in him currently. Minnesota has 2.7, so they cannot match it unless they make a trade. Unless they free up some cap space, they're stuck with letting me take them. And I think the same is the same for Washington. Washington only has 800k. Excuse me. Man, do I think Niederreiter's gonna end up being worth a first and a third? They're both the same player, and if I'm gonna have to give up a pick, I'm gonna go for Niederreiter. I feel like he's got a better value. He's 24. But I feel like he would play well off of... So I'm gonna throw him a contract, we'll see if he signs. I don't necessarily have to sign a center, I just have to sign somebody that has face-offs. Jerome McGinley? No. Let's do it this way. Forwards. I don't want to pay an absorbent amount of money for somebody. I mean, Gagner and Bonino are both 81s, but they're not worth 3.8 and 3.7. Even on a one-year deal, they're not worth that. I mean, most of these guys aren't worth their contracts either. Jerome, oh, there's an 85. Matt Cullen, he's 40 years old though. He'd basically be a stopgap. All right, well, he's not going to get signed. Let's see if we get Niederreiter before I get too crazy here with my cap space. Nick Holden, no thank you. I really should change my trade block to forwards instead of defensemen, since I don't need defense. Jordan Stahl and Lee Stepniak. I don't want Jordan Stahl. He's $6 million of garbage. Alright, so Niederreiter accepted. Let's see if, I don't think Minnesota can match me. Did they have a week to match me? And I think I'm going to offer Cullen a deal. Like I said, he's just going to be a stopgap. Alright, so I lost my first and my third. But I got Niederreiter. Let's see, what are we working with now? We have 2.3. Next year we have to sign Ryan Murray and Jenner and Johnson, although I don't think Johnson's going to be here. Matt Calverty won't want a lot, Bjorkstrand won't want a lot. So we don't need too much cap space. Unless I have to sign No. Okay, so I don't need that much cap space for year 1. No, I just need a center for that first line and it'd be perfect. I mean, it's going to be Wenberg. Panarin, Wenberg, and Niederreiter is going to be our first line. Foligno, Dubinsky, Jenner, second line. Third line, Hartnell, Calvert, and whoever I can find. Did any of these guys have face-offs? 68, 65, 60, 65. Damn it. Boone Jenner is 75, but I want to keep him in the top 6 role. Dubinsky and Foligno, I might try to trade them, but we will wait and see. I am going to throw an offer to a center, though. Just to have one. Because I feel like I need a... Now again, though, with this team... Oh, Brett Connolly, do you have face-offs? 65? I don't want to offer Mike Rich. Did somebody offer fucking... What's his face? God damn it. Somebody offered a contract to Cullen? Are you kidding me? No. Okay, he is there. 1.8, 1 year. Done. That should be enough. Let's see where we're at. Actually, I'm just going to hit Sim the next season. And that'll get us there. No, I don't want to meet with people. Don't ever show me morale garbage again. Alright, so there we go. So our team is pretty much the same as real life, except we're swapping out Cam Atkinson for Nino Niederreiter, essentially. Since we let Cam Atkinson go to the Milwaukee team. Michael Grabner for a second. Now this is interesting. Michael Grabner's not an awful player. What's his contract? 1.6 for 1 year? I think that's too much win now. Yeah, no, I'll pass on that. Although at the same time, I don't want to do a full rebuild. But I feel like this team is good enough to win. They're going to win year 1 regardless of the moves I make. I would have to tear it all down in order to restart, basically. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to put the Starburst down. I don't want to eat that. That's the last thing you want to hear me do is chewing in your ears. I hate it so much when people do that in the mic. Ugh. Alright, so we're going into the season with not a single player rated higher than an 86. Alright, so let's see. What do we got line-wise? Artemi Panarin, off. Artemi Panarin, Alexander Wenberg, Nino Niederreiter. I like that first line, in all honesty. I know it's 2 snipers and a playmaker, but that's kind of the pairing that works the best, in my opinion. If you look at Stamkos, Kucherov, and Palat, Backstream, Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, like these lines work. Alright, third line, Hartnell, Cullen, Calvert. I'm actually going to put Bjorkstrand on the third line. Bjorkstrand, Calvert. I don't like that though. Josh Anderson. Who is scratched? No, we don't have any forwards. Shit. Sonny Milano. God, I wish Sonny Milano was rated a little higher. He does have NHL experience. I figured he'd be a little... Oh, right, but he got hurt. Right, he was gonna be... But then he's on a long-term IR. Tyler Mott. And he's honestly not awful. The fourth line shouldn't matter as much. Although, letting Quincy go kind of hurt my defense. Just a tad. But at the same time, did it really? Because I kind of want to put Carlson in there and let him get time with Jack Johnson. That should be fine. Jones, Murray. I mean, our top 4, David Savard, I don't want you playing... Seth Jones makes more sense. They're all two-way defenders, all 6 of them. Goaltending, Bobrovsky and Korpisalo. Now, I'm interested in the opinion of the viewers. Bob's going to be our goalie for probably the first 2 seasons. But what do I eventually turn him into? Is he my blue chip piece to get a first line winger or center? Because I feel like Bjorkstrand will get good enough to be a third liner. I feel like Anderson will get good enough to be a third liner. And then we can kind of sign third liners as we go. Dubinsky and Foligno are probably on the way out. Boone Jenner is somebody that probably would stay. My third line in reality should be Jenner, Bjorkstrand, and Anderson. Because Jenner has faceoffs, he can be a center. This would be my ideal one, is Bjorkstrand, Jenner, Anderson. But for now, he's going to play in the second line. That way he can kind of... That second line is not going to score any goals. I can tell you that right now. That second line is purely going to be defense. Maybe with a little bit of goal scoring, but all of our offense is on our first line, which means I might put Niederreiter on the second line and put Boone Jenner on the... I'm going to do that, actually. I'm going to go Panarin, Wenberg, Jenner, Niederreiter, Dubinsky, Foligno. And we'll see how that goes. Defensively, Werenski, Jones, Murray, Savard, Johnson, Carlson. That's fine. Goaltending, Bobrovsky and Korpisalo for this time being. We're ready to go. Where am I at time-wise? 16 minutes. Let's go ahead and sim to the regular season. And we'll do the season opener, and we'll see how the team does. Make sure to scout. No, I don't have a first and a third. I could potentially try to get a first. I could try to trade back into the first round, which I might do. Foligno or Dubinsky might be enough to net, or Johnson might be enough to net a first round pick. Alright, so we've already got an injury. Granted, we got 2 injuries. It is preseason, so it doesn't matter too much. Because if you get hurt in the preseason, you're automatically back for game 1. That's just how it works. Oops, scouting. Give me that sweet OHL forward. Yep. Waivers are in effect. Now, I considered signing somebody, but I don't think I have a whole lot of cap space to work with, so I'm just gonna go. We're playing the Dallas Stars. Man, this seems familiar. Game 1. Let's rock it. Let's go. Let's go. Game 1. Let's see how this... Let's see if this is a real look into what we're going to have going forward. Korpisalo getting a start. Interesting. Wonder why that's the case. Artemi Panarin already on the board. 1-0 Columbus. Let's go. Alright, 1-0 after 2. Now with this team, like we've said in the comments, I've said in the video, if we score 1 or 2 goals, we should win most games. The defense and goaltending in this team is insane. Oh, but as I say that, Tyler Seguin gets one. Granted, Korpisalo is only a 79 right now. He's not starter material. Hell, he's barely backup material. I don't know why Bob's not in there. But it's alright. Going to overtime in game 1 of the regular season. We're going to a shootout. Shootout, I feel, is where we lose. Oh, no, we don't. Artemi Panarin with the lone shootout goal wins it for Columbus. Nice. So we kick off our GM mode with a W against our last GM team. I'll call that a success in my eyes. I mean, we only scored 1 goal, but our defense was more than capable. One thing I do want to look at is, did Milwaukee play yet? Our other expansion team? They have not. I kind of want to see how they do in their first game. So I'll advance a day and see if we get it. See if they have a game. God, they still haven't played. Alright, we'll advance 1 more day. This is the last thing I'm doing before I end the video. I want to see them get a game played. They shut out the Vegas Golden Knights. If you didn't see it, look in the upper right hand corner. There it is right now. They shut out the battle of expansion teams to start the year. Milwaukee's first in the division. Oh boy. Alright, but that's where I'm going to call this one. As always, comment section for your critiques, criticisms, and opinions on what the team should look like and my moves already as the GM of this team. Took a pretty big gamble off the start, but hey, why not? In addition to that, remember to leave a like for the video. Best way to kick the series off and kind of get it rolling. We've had a astounding amount of support recently. Sub counts are up, view counts are up. We pretty much still have the same group commenting, which is cool. At least we have a conversation going. But yeah, as well as subscribe to the channel. That way you know when the next video goes live. I know I missed a day yesterday. There was an ice storm. I had school. It was a mess. But yeah, last but not least, thank you for watching. And I will see you tomorrow for what will be the start of year 1's regular season.